As I said in my GWACS Armory lower video, which I'll annotate at the end of the video if you'd like to check it out, I follow those guys over at InRange, and when they first started talking about their What Would Stoner Do project, I didn't know how I felt about it, but as the project progressed, I became very interested in it due to the fact that it had some of the features about it that I was interested in looking for, such as a lighter carbine that was ambidextrous, which would be great for my son as he begins shooting in the next couple years, because he is left-handed, to have one of my Aero 15 carbines be set up to be ambidextrous and to be a little lighter for him when he starts to begin shooting. And then when I found out that GWACS Armory is actually a local manufacturer to where I live, I was completely sold on the idea, and I wanted to build one myself. To do that in, that's where we'll start with the lower receiver from GWACS Armory. This is their Power Series Cav 15 Mark II lower receiver. This is specifically their blem unit or blemish unit, as I said in my video. As you can see, it's not too bad. You really don't see much scratching, and there was very little flashing, and I had to do very little touch-up during assembly. So they're a great value. I know that right now, as April of 2019, they are really hard to get a hold of because they're actually out of production right now, as far as I know. There may be some still floating around out there. But they are supposed to be getting them back into production. They're actually going into another iteration, the Mark III, I believe, and they're also working on a Mark IV, according to some of the information I've seen on forums and on their website and on their Facebook. I know that they are having some issues getting that started up, so we wish them all the best and hope that they get back up and online and start producing these great lower receivers again, and I'm sure they will. There's a lot of demand for them. This particular one for me was $85 when I bought it back last year, and that's a great value, as I said. The stock hand pistol grip and trigger guard are all integrated into the actual manufacturer low receiver. And what makes this low receiver so great is it was built from the ground up to be a polymer lower receiver, not something that's made to look like a conventional aluminum alloy lower receiver, and then you add the other components, which makes it a lot weaker because the tolerances are so much smaller. This one was actually built from the ground up, like I said, as a polymer lower receiver, which means it's very strong. There have been lots of test videos on it, and they're just surprisingly strong for being made out of polymer. Some people don't care for the pistol grip. I don't mind it, like I said in the video. Kind of reminds me of the Fire Stars from back in the day, and I didn't mind the way those functioned. And this may be one of the things they're actually changing in the future lower receivers that they're going to be coming out with. Some people don't like that this is a straight trigger guard. They'd like a little bit more room. That may be another change they're going to come out with the Mark III or the Mark IV. And some people don't care for the length of pull on this. It is set up like an A1, not an A2, and some people prefer the adjustment that they have when it comes to using an adjustable stock like on an M4 style carbine. But this is perfect for me. I really do like this length of pull, so it's not a big issue to me. I don't know how well you can see it back here, but there is a checkered butt plate that comes with it from the factory, and I really do like that. It is really nice and textured and gives you quite a bit of hold there on your shoulder. I went with a different trigger, which I actually got to try when I was at GWACS Armory, and it is a very nice trigger, but I can't afford it right now. I would like to get one and drop it in there because I really do like the design of it and how nice it feels and how well it shoots. I would like to get one of those in the future, and I probably will. But for now, it just has a conventional mil-spec trigger in it. This particular trigger and hammer setup, the fire control parts, as well as all the springs and pins and whatnot that I needed for the lower parts kit, is by Aero Prcision, and they make some great parts, and these are no exception. The lower receiver itself actually comes with its own takedown pins, which are specific to the design, because you can't use the standard mil-spec ones that a lower parts kit comes with. So you don't need to worry about those, so you save a little bit of money. You just basically need your lower parts kit for the springs and other components, and if you're going to use the fire control group. The guys over at InRange used a special captured buffer and buffer spring combo that I Would really like to get someday, but I can't afford it right now, so I'm actually using a Spikes tactical buffer and buffer spring. And now to the ambidextrous controls of the upper and lower receiver. We'll start right here with the safety selector. This is an AIM Surplus Ambi safety selector. You have your long paddle right there that is nicely textured, and then you have your shorter one so it doesn't interfere with your grip on the pistol grip, which is a nice feature. Those are a great value. They aren't very expensive at all. I believe I paid like $23, and you can even find them on sale sometimes. If you're looking for a affordable ambidextrous safety selector, they're a nice one. They really are. Moving forward here, we'll talk about the mag release, mag catch button right here. This is an ambidextrous mag catch made by Arms Unlimited AU Ambi mag release. So as you see, it's real simple. It has a button right here, and then the standard button that's over there. Doesn't look much different than the regular mil-spec one, and they really don't do much else other than add that serrated part back here to allow you to increase size to allow you to press it to release the magazine. And it's really nice and simple, and I like it. The next component we'll talk about is the Teal Blue Bravo PDQ Ambi bolt release. This is this mil-spec side, similar to the mil-spec side, paddle on this side, and then on this side you actually have the lever that's I don't know how well you can see it there, but it's nicely textured so you can get your finger on it, and I really like this thing. Really like it. Sorry about the focus there. So I don't know how well you can see in there, but I had to modify the lower receiver. The guys over at InRange talk about having to do that, but it is totally worth it if you're wondering. It's very simple. You just use a Dremel, or you could maybe even use some files if you didn't have a Dremel, but I used a Dremel. Just use a cutting bit, go very sparingly. If anything, I believe that I personally might have cut a little too deep, but it still functions perfectly, and you can't even tell. It's very, looks nicely done, almost like it came that way, even though I'm not the best at doing this. So if I can do it, I'm sure you guys can do it, and I really do highly recommend it, because I didn't know how I was going to feel about this particular component from Teal Blue Bravo, but I love this PDQ Ambi bolt release. I mean, it's just great, and it really does just complete the project when you're talking about being ambidextrous and having your controls be ambidextrous. And it's real affordable too. It's only like $65, and I don't really care for the other options out there when it comes for bolt releases, and I find myself using it a ton of times on that opposite side, even though I am a right-handed shooter, engaging the bolt catch as I'm racking the charging handle back, and then even using that side to release it. And then when I go back to my other AR-15s that aren't ambidextrous, I miss it. I mean, that's how much I like it. It really is growing on me, and I may do it to some of my other ones. So I do highly recommend that if you're going to do it, and it really is an affordable component. Jumping up to the upper receiver now for the last ambidextrous control. This is the Radian Raptor LT Ambi charging handle. This is the one that I selected for my build. The guys over at InRange actually used a great ambidextrous charging handle from Geisley, but I can't afford that right now. These are a great value. I think I got this one for about $55, so you might want to check them out. Continuing with the upper, this is the Aero Prcision Slick Side Upper, and I really do like how streamlined it looks. And I do have a video reviewing it. If you'd like to check it out, I'll annotate at the end of the video. I also forgot to mention I do have a video regarding the Radian Raptor LT ambidextrous charging handle as well that I'll annotate at the end of the video. Continuing on with the upper, I selected for my bolt carrier group an Aero Prcision Black Nitride BCG. You can select any of the mil-spec BCGs that are out there. I believe the guys over at InRange selected a Bravo company. Just make sure they're built well from a reputable manufacturer, and you can't go wrong when you're talking about a manufacturer like Aero Prcision. They really do make some great stuff, and they're a great value. I got this one for less than $100, and in that same vein, I decided to use them for my rail system as well. This is the Aero Precision Enhanced Gen 2 Keymod Handguard, and these are just a great value. I know the guys over at InRange went with M-Lock. I had planned on going with M-Lock for my build as well, but last year around the holidays, Aero Precision actually put all their Keymod handguards on sale, and I have a video on this I'll annotate at the end of the video as well about me reviewing it. I just really like the way these look and the way these feel, and they're fairly light for what you're getting. This particular one is a 12-inch model, and there are a whole lot of features that are built into it that you can check out in my video that I did on it, and I just really like the feel of it, and so I decided to go with it. I paid $125. Talk about the barrel now. This is a Faxon Firearms 16-inch pencil mid-length QPQ 4150 barrel in 5.56 with a AIM Surplus gas block that came attached to it. I bought this from AIM Surplus. I got this one for $180, and it came with the gas block already attached, so that was a great value. And these barrels in general, for what you're getting, being so light and being pencil profile, and they have a gunner's profile, and they have several different lengths to choose from, they're just a great value. And this was the manufacturer that the guys over at InRange selected for the What Would Stoner Do build, and they actually used 14.5-inch barrels with fixed flash hiders, if I'm not mistaken. But I chose to go with this 16-inch and then add my own flash hider to it, and that flash hider is actually an AIM Surplus flash hider. They're a great value too, just a simple bird cage design, and the gas tube there, as you see, is a Spikes Tactical mid-length melanited gas tube. The final piece of the puzzle is the optic, because the guys over at InRange made a pretty good point about not having to have backup sights or iron sights actually on the carbine. Their suggestion was just to go with an optic, and their suggestion was a Holosun optic, the HS503C red dot sight with the 2 MOA dot plus the 6 MOA circle. And I am very happy that I actually went with that optic, because it is phenomenal. It is a great value at $180, and it is so light. I can't remember how much it weighs offhand, but I used to have a Strike Fire when I first assembled this all together, and on there a Vortex Strike Fire, and it was a lot heavier than this and added quite a bit of extra weight to it, and that's actually a fairly light optic by itself. So I'm very happy that I went with this Holosun, and it is, in all the testing that I've and all the shooting I've been doing with it, it has been great. There's your solar panel on top, and there are your controls on the side. So let's go ahead and weigh it and go ahead and show you how much it weighs. There you go, 5.67 pounds. Not so bad for the alterations I had to do in comparison to the guys over at InRange. A lot heavier components, such as the handguard there, and the difference in barrel that I selected. But still a great weight. I mean, you really can't beat that, honestly, for the amount of money that I kind of put into it in components that I went with. Just to give you an idea of accuracy with this setup, this selected barrel, and this optics combo, this group was at 100 yards. For me, I'm not the best shooter in the world. This is a pretty good group shooting offhand from 100 yards. I really do like that group. This optic and this barrel combo is very accurate. There's another group for you that's even tighter than that one from before. Very accurate. At the end of the day, what this comes down to is this was my version of the What Would Stoner Do rifle on the cheap side, the affordable side, within a budget. And to that end, I'll go ahead and tell you how much I spent for all these components from the parts list that I just gave you. For the carbine by itself without the optic was $777, and with the optic was $957. And for the components that you get, and the pride in knowing that you put it together and that hopefully you did it the right way, and then to take it out to the range and have everything function correctly the way it's supposed to, and have a great time shooting it, and have all the benefits of it being so lightweight and being ambidextrous and being so accurate for those prices, $777 and $957 altogether. You can't beat that in my opinion. So this has been my video showing the completion of my GWACS homage to the What Would Stoner Do rifle concept. Thanks for watching.